Hello, fellow pipers. Yanis here,
Silvio here.
and welcome to our 20-minute pipe show, where we are going to talk about the divisions in the YTPC that occur from time to time. I'm smoking this Peterson Donegal 999, and in it I have some second-hand bookshop that Ethan Parsimonious Piper has kindly sent me. What are you smoking?
I'm smoking a very rustic pipe gifted to me by Timo, which I like to salute Timo. I like to salute Graham and Uncle Bernd apostrophe. I salute you all guys. And it's a Leroy. I don't know who makes it, but it's a nice gift and I'm using it. I love it, and I'm smoking some 2009 Grasmere Flake, one of my favorite tobaccos. I mean, everybody knows how much I love Gawit Hogarth and Samuel Gawit. And yeah, Lakeland Essence, Virginia, I don't know what else it has in it, but a nice summery floral tobacco, sweet and floral.
Okay. And this tobacco that I'm smoking is a blend made by Eaton. It's half dark-fired Kentucky from Sutleaf, and the other half consists of Haunted Bookshop. A lot of Kentucky, Virginia, Burley, Perique that comes from the second-hand bookshop. This is my third pipe now. And I find it tobacco tasty. The first smoke was a little bit harsh, but it's okay, and I enjoy the smoking.
By the way, I'm drinking Royal Crown Cola, an old company.
From 1903.
Yeah. Times are changing. I see that again. YTPC, our dear pipe club, International Pipe Club, is changing. So I didn't follow the news lately in the YTPC, but what is going on? I had my share of fights and debates when YTPC changed a few times. So what can you tell me?
Yeah, first of all, let me just define the YTPC as a network of connected pipers, relationships that are based on the subscriptions, and after that, comments and so on. And after that, people can develop this into more personal contacts, meeting each other at pipe shows at home, at smoking lounges, and just a beautiful place to be, let's say.
Yeah, but now it's more, I see more subjects that are dividing us, actually.
Yeah.
Which is not good for us, yeah.
Now, there are certain topics that divide people all around the world. Politics are one of those. And especially if the topic has nothing to do with pipe smoking. I mean, someone can talk about his life or her life and so on. It's different, but if you bring up politics, sometimes also religion.
Oh, yeah.
People somehow are not coming to the YTPC watching videos to listen to that. There are special communities that are heavily covering these topics, and somehow, in my opinion, people who are predominantly or often interested in that could find better understanding and better information and more like-minded people in those communities, if we are talking about the YTPC and on the other social networks. But here, I think that people predominantly, the vast majority of people come here to talk about pipe smoking, all the topics connected to that. And of course, they share something about their private life, what they do, some other hobbies, and so on. However,
I mean, I always think about our German pipe smoking friends that something that bothered me, putting myself in their shoes. Every year hearing about how USA or Canada or England defeated Germany, the Nazis every day. I don't think it's very pleasant to be a German or an Austrian pipe smoker and every year hearing this about your country. From whom? From your pipe colleagues. Which countries? We know they are not saints and stuff like that. So an example why I think politics divides our community.
Yeah.
Sorry.
Yeah, no problem. I mean, in my opinion, we should stick more or less to what the YTPC was formed. And Silvio, you're a long time member of the YTPC. You were watching videos long time ago before me, and you remember what was the landscape, let's say, of the YTPC. What were people talking about, and why they were actually connecting with each other through the subscriptions, and then later on through the private direct contacts.
Yeah, I started watching YTPC videos about 17 years ago, and it was an inclusive community, and it was based on cultural differences, curiosity about each other. It was about sharing information with each other and sending gifts to each other of things that you don't have in your country and they don't have in their countries. It was a big curiosity about trying things from each other's culture. That's why I have the idea of always, if I send a package, and we also do this, I send something, sweets or something made in Romania, something local, because I've seen this being done since the beginning of the YTPC, because we all share a curiosity about each other. And it was a lot about learning and teaching. And when I made my channel, I made it with the intention of sharing everything I know. And a lot of new pipers wondering, how come that I know so much about pipes and about history of pipes, and they are wondering how can I date all these brands and all this stuff. I had the luck to be a member of this community at its greatest period, where I learned a lot. So it's something totally different today. And if I'm not participating, I've distanced myself a little bit of this community because it changed into something I don't like, and that's why I don't participate in giveaways, VRs, and shout outs and all of that. It's because it doesn't resemble the YTPC I know from the past. Is it good that it changed? It is bad. Only time can tell.
Well, the last, let's say, so-called conflict was happened like in the last 14 days, let's say. And it was about promoting freedom and team freedom and so on, as I understand. And it's nothing wrong to promote freedoms. We are all about the freedom. However, we are listening to different news every day. If you're talking with your colleagues or co-workers or whoever you are, you soon come to the debate on politics and other topics that people can have different opinions about. And when people say, oh, can you please stick to the main topic here and maybe some other stuff, but not try to primarily focus on the politics or the topics that are not somehow connected with the pipe smoking. I can see that they are a bit fed up with somebody pushing certain agendas through the YTPC, and when they are like told, look, can you please don't talk about this on your videos that are in your channel that was somehow started predominantly about pipe smoking. People do intro videos that they say, oh, we are going to talk about pipe smoking, let's say in general, and a little bit of what they are doing, maybe some hobbies and so on. And then this changes to this political topics that divide people. So this is somehow the start of this, let's say, conflict. So, and then the reply to that is, look, I'm free to do whatever I want, and other pipers also respond to that and say, oh, people have the right to say whatever they want on their channels. That is totally correct. People can say whatever they want on their channels until YouTube will not censor them, of course, or somebody will maybe report them or something like that. And they say, oh, you can unsubscribe from my channel if you want to, if you don't want to listen to me speaking about this. You can do. There was even like, oh, if you are really free, you will unsubscribe. If you are not, and so on. So what I'm saying here is, it's not about who is free and who is not free, because we can see around the world that a lot of people are not free. A lot of societies, a lot of countries are being suppressed throughout the history. And we are not going to go into that because it will become really ugly. What I want to say is that nobody is saying to nobody, you should not be doing this. What I understand is they're saying, please do not talk about this in this environment, because we are all coming here to talk about pipe smoking, maybe some other hobbies, and a little bit of private life, what we do, and so on, and not about politics, religion, and other topics that can divide people. So this is not an attack, as I understand, on the freedoms, but it's more about preserving the YTPC as it in connection with what is the purpose of the YTPC. So sharing the information on pipe smoking, connecting pipers, and so on. How many presenters or viewers would become a part of the YTPC if they would not be smoking a pipe? Like I'm not let's say doing motocross, so I'm not interested in that. So I'm not becoming a member of the motocross community or people who are dealing with that or talking about that or about sports or about something else. I don't know.
Yeah, you mean that if we activate under this YTPC umbrella, that it's an international club.
International.
We need to have a little bit of empathy and not only think locally, but internationally. So we actually need to have a little bit of restraint, and there are some unwritten rules, you know. It's like me being, let's say I'm a Muslim, which I'm not, always come here and 2,000 of my friends and always preach Allah and all that. It's clear that I will antagonize the other side. So I wish that the other side also understand that there are certain things, like I gave this example, always showing Germany in a negative way, veterans and liberating Nazis, German Nazis. I don't think they understand how they make the other side feel. You know, so we need to. That's why.
You mean the Germans who live today and who are members of the YTPC and who were not involved, let's say, in the Second World War and so on. And
absolutely,
yeah, this is one of the examples, because history is full of actions of different entities, countries, and so on, one against each other, and so on. And if we bring this in the politics, we will. I mean, we already have now two conflicts that are that can become very
Divisive.
dangerous for the whole world in Ukraine and in Gaza. And we are trying to refrain from that. Nevertheless, that we all have the opinions and so on. And then somebody
Of
would
course.
be offended and so on. That's why I'm saying this political talk can become quite
Yeah,
ugly, let's say. And it's
that's why
I
all
think. Go ahead.
that's why all serious clubs have this rule: no politics, no.
Yeah.
And I'm not saying not having a Bible, let's say, study in a nice way, but there are some people that actually push religion. They sell Jesus like they sell soap, and others, like our brother Israel, who does a very beautiful thing that just reads from the Bible, things useful for all the people around the world. It's not pushing churches and stuff like that. Sorry for interrupting.
What I wanted to connect here is that since we are the international community, it's the
Yeah,
YouTube, and YouTube is wherever you, more or less wherever you have the access to the internet, you can access YouTube or other communities or other social platforms. Um, it's a worldwide thing. It's not just a thing like the YouTube is registered in the US, so this is a US stuff, and we need to hear all about what is going on in the US and so on. We are not living under the rock. We have our own media that is covering these situations. A lot of time, due to the fact that we are both are part of so-called Western society, they are somehow being controlled by the capital and so on, and the governments. So they are giving us not totally clear picture of what is going on. You can get a lot of fake news, and you really need to take time to investigate what is really going on. However, saying that this is not the place to express this, to prevent the conflicts here among us, it's a good thing to do. That pipers are reminded that this should stay a sanctuary, more or less about pipe smoking and pipers and their lives and so on. And I know that the politics and religion is a part of people's life, but it's also a dividing topic. So
absolutely.
that's why I'm supporting the YTPC in its original form, meaning talking about exchanging information about pipe smoking. And then you can, as I said, upgrade this to the level of personal visits and meetups and so on. So it's not about telling somebody you don't have a right to express what you want on your channel. It's, could you please restrain yourself from opening topics that can divide members of this community. If we are like 10 friends outside, or either being teenagers or grown-up people, and we are connected through our personal experience, common experience, and so on, and somebody starts, we are outside having a drink, pipe and talk and so on, and somebody starts the topic that we feel it's not okay for this environment, we will tell this friend of ours, look, don't talk about this. It's not what we are here for, or something like that. So it's we can take some parallels with the real life, let's say, real uh, uh, friendships and real relationships that we have. But there is another thing here. It's, I mean, somebody who has I don't know how many subscribers. I mean, it's strange to see people sitting in their backyard, smoking a pipe, talking about politics. Their range that they have, it's the number of subscribers they have, and even those, not all of them are watching all the videos of certain channels. If you have time to do videos either every day or so often about this, talking about your opinions, and that can be very strong, of course. Isn't it better for you to join an activist group in your area and do something for real, like go for and protest, go
That
and
is hard.
visit your political representatives and talk to them, or write a letter, or try to do some pressure on them, or whatever. Try to rally people around you for a certain cause and so on. There are multiple ways how you can actually achieve something to a certain degree. Of course, you can achieve something in a different way, and not just, let's say, talking about this on your YouTube channel, that people subscribe mostly more or less to it because of the pipe smoking. And what were you saying about pipe smoking and some other stuff about you? So I don't
Plus,
understand.
talking about politics in your country, it's meaningless for 90% of us, first of all. It's meaningless. It's like you starting to talk about Slovenian political, I don't know, what and me in Romania, and do all that is meaningless to all the others. So, yeah, I know I didn't follow too well. I am not sure what is happening now, but I feel more and more that I want to get out from under this YTPC umbrella and just do my thing, and that's it. Because it's changing. It started with so many pipers, when they had success, they immediately started to make this as a job, making money, donations, selling stuff, and it was not about that. And the community is not divided between buyers and sellers and stuff like that. So yeah, I don't know.
So in my opinion, to conclude this, is let's talk about topics that connect us. And we already know what that is. And if you have a strong feelings and opinions about something that is political or some other dividing topics, take this to a next level with the time you are investing here, talking in the framework of the YTPC. Take that to the next level in your local area. Connect to the people, activists, I don't know who, in the local area where you live, and do the change there. Not here, not in the YTPC. It's not going to be the change all around the world. We all agree that we need to be free, that we need to have freedoms, that governments and those who are steering the governments to take certain decisions, they're working more or less often against us. We all know that, and we have this in every country. But you don't see everybody speak about this. You don't hear them. But the small minority of people are pushing certain topics that are just dividing. And when they get a response that they don't like, I mean, sky is the limit. What can happen here? Like doing VRs and I don't know. It's not something that we as a pipers who want to describe ourselves as being, let's say, normal people who are able to have normal connections with others and so on, will do. We're not like that. So if you really want to push something politically or any other dividing topic to gain some either support or understanding or whatever, do it locally, upgrade it to the activist groups. First of all, go and vote on the elections, and take this not as a critique, but take as an advice how to not make troubles in the YTPC. Nobody is saying that you cannot say whatever you want on the YouTube or here on your channel. I don't understand anybody saying, oh, you cannot talk about this. You should not talk about this. Of course you can talk about that, but talk about that and do something about that in the environment where you can actually make a difference. Here in the YTPC, whatever you can do, you will just unsubscribe. I have unsubscribed from a certain channel. I did. Because every time it's just like I'm smoking this and then bitching about politics and freedom and so on. I could also do this, but I'm not, because I'm not here for that. This is what I'm somehow advising people to, if we want to keep this community going on, we should restrain ourselves from dividing topics. That's all. And I think everybody who is responding to videos like that feels the same. And it's not about telling somebody that they are not free to talk about whatever they want. There is like, if you have a 15-minute video talking about politics, you can take those 15 minutes and invest that time in something that really makes the change, politically wise, in your area, in your community, in your country, and so on. You're not gaining any, let's say, results here, except some bad mood in people that actually want to watch you talking about pipe smoking and some other stuff, and not politics and other dividing.
Even mention politics, I have no problem with it. It's pushing something. It's what bothers me. And first of all, look how many people are watching, less and less. It's like, what can you change when 200 people watch your videos? You know, look, Germans, our German friends, I don't know why, but they have a separate German YTPC, let's say, and they have thousands of views per video. And us with our international community, because we cannot understand that we should be inclusive and always make a video with knowing that other countries, other people with other different cultures are watching. And if you speak for about something that it's totally about happening in your country, it only concerns 50 of your watchers. You know?
And we are both coming from countries that in the past has limited the freedom of speech, limited the political freedoms and so on to a certain extent. So we are not like somebody who is saying, oh, we have everything perfect here, so we don't want to listen about these topics. We have our own experience, our own history. We are just saying that let's stay in the framework of the YTPC with the topics that the YTPC somehow emerged for. It didn't emerge for the political talk, religious talk, other talks. And I respect all the people who are religious, and I respect the political views of the people. I'm not trying to be against that or talk against that. I'm just saying, let's keep this place about what it is, what it was at the beginning, and not try to change it. And for the end of the video, because we are really quite long, I just want to say, I made a giveaway, and and I will link this under this video. There will be going to be a video that I did after, when I compiled all the results, all the answers. So, what do you think about what do you think about YTPC, and how can we improve it? And you can go through that, and you can see what numerous pipers who we don't have here anymore, at least not as presenters, said about the YTPC. And at the end, the answer to the question was, leave the YTPC as it is. So if you have time, and didn't take too much time from you with this video, or maybe find the next sometime today or next days, go and watch that video that I will link in the description. So let's all just stay focused on what we are here for, and not so much about what we can push through regarding other topics that divide. This would be my 5 cents, let's say, on this topic. And I respect everybody, every piper, and I'm not trying to limit anybody of their freedoms or something like that. So, any last words on this topic or about the tobacco, Silvio?
Yeah, we should just go back to basics. It's always a good idea, in my opinion.
Ethan, if you're watching this, thank you very much for this um, tobacco that you sent me. I'm enjoying it. Goes really well with the coffee, like a lot of other blends. And I hope you didn't got this wrong, because it was not intended to limit somebody or group of people. Or let's just be what we are as pipers and not as a political person, because it doesn't have any effect here. Just divides us. So until we meet again, I wish you all a lot of pleasant smokes.